Well, clearly there's something going on with this sweet dog, Shadow. We're going to find out what it is, and also how, if your dog has a maybe similar, less severe condition, but how you can handle that. And we'll be talking about that with Dr. Judy Morgan coming up on Ask the Pet Vet. Hi, everybody. I'm Carol Erickson, and boy, do we have an interesting Ask the Pet Vet today. I'm with Dr. Judy Morgan, Clayton Veterinary Association, and she is just phenomenal. She is the veterinarian for a dog hospice called Monkey's House in Southampton, New Jersey, and it's what they say here, it's where dogs go to live, and they are living in the lap of luxury. Dr. Morgan, tell me about Shadow.
So Shadow's about 11 years old, and she spent her entire life chained up to a tree living outside. And she was turned in, and Brookline Labrador Rescue took her in, and she's got this severe deformity and irritation of the front legs. And this would be something very difficult for a foster parent to deal with around the clock. And so Brookline works very closely with Monkey's House and asked if Michelle could be the foster for this dog so that she could get the care.
All right. A lot of people would say, well, why isn't that dog in one of those big Elizabethan collars to keep them away from it? You say?
That's cruel. So this dog, when we took x-rays, one of the most interesting cases I've ever seen, really. On her x-rays, she's got the main bone that goes down the leg, but on both front legs, she actually has bony projections that come out on the side and almost a second bone trying to form. And it's running along the same path as the nerves in the front legs. So this is like kind of when your foot is asleep and you get that tingling, just irritating,
yes,
almost painful. That's what we think she feels. So she's constantly trying to soothe that.
All right, so what does somebody do if their dog is licking a hot spot, because this looks like just like a gigantic hot spot?
Right.
What does somebody do at home? How do you handle that sort of thing without putting them in that collar?
So we've had in her case is very severe, but we've had extremely good luck with cold laser therapy, healing lick granulomas and hot spots where, they just make those lick sores.
Okay, so a cold laser is something you would go to your vet for a treatment.
Yes.
Painful, not painful?
No, absolutely not painful.
And the dog is not under a general anesthetic?
No, it takes just a few minutes. Very, very simple, not painful. And it's basically using red light therapy, but it's a deep penetrating healing light. Works really well for these guys. We can put creams and ointments on these things, but the dogs do tend to lick them. So we work here with her more with distraction. So she's given cod skins and bully sticks and healthy treats that are more appealing to her than her legs.
Than her own legs. Okay. And will these hot spots ever heal? And do most hot spots eventually heal?
99% of the hot spots and lick granulomas in the world we can heal no problem. This dog, we're having so much trouble because of that bony growth in there that we can't really control. We have managed to get one leg to be pretty healthy, and she's not lame on that leg. The other leg she really doesn't use. And so we're trying to get her healthy enough to actually consider removal of the really bad leg.
Boy. Okay. But when you see your dog licking the hot spot, just yelling, "Stop it," is not going to do it.
It's unfair that, they're doing that for a reason. If you had the worst case of poison ivy you can imagine, and somebody just keeps yelling at you, "Stop it, stop it, stop it."
I get poison ivy, I know. And that's all the analogy I need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
Yes, exactly right. And the other thing I wanted to know, there are 26 dogs here living in hospice, living the phenomenal life. They go out on pack walks. They all get along. There's no barking. There's nothing. I mean, we've seen before the other side of the house. How does Michelle Allen, who runs Monkey's House with some volunteers who are so dedicated, how do you get all these dogs to get along?
Dogs actually are pack animals, so they want to get along. Michelle's pretty careful when she pulls dogs to make sure that they don't have a bite history or any aggression that's been shown. Slow introductions when new ones come in. There are certain dogs here that are very good to use for the initial introductions because they're just very mellow. And then, if you have a clash or a personality conflict, you try to steer those kids away from each other a little bit. It's kind of like, a school classroom.
Right. And so it's just something that people who have, certainly nobody's encouraging hoarding, and that's not what
No.
This is. This is a dog hospice. So, it's just a tremendous amount of medical care and that sort of thing. But people, even who have several animals. You can have several animals living in harmony, even if some of them have some medical issues.
Absolutely. I have 9 dogs and 4 cats living in my house, and there are a couple that have personality conflicts, so we're just really careful about that.
Feed them in separate places.
Everybody gets fed. That's one of the things. Never make a dog feel challenged to get their food. They should be able to eat peacefully for the digestive process, if nothing else. So these kids are all separated. So, Michelle has 24, 26 different feeding stations for everybody. And you know who gets along.
Okay, great. So some really interesting information. Check out if you've got a dog with persistent hot spots, a cold laser, because that may be the ticket, and just preventing them from licking is not the answer. It's getting some really competent veterinary care. Dr. Judy Morgan, Clayton Veterinary Association, just unbelievable. And thank you so much to Monkey's House in Southampton. We will be coming back to this location because I'll tell you about every medical problem you can find. You can find in dogs here in hospice, but who are living full lives right up for as long as they go.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Ask the Pet Vet.